So thank you all very much for being here and just letting me share with you how you can help your business get more sales by applying an online sales strategy. So I'm going to give you 5 things that you're going to be able to take away today. The first one is going to be all about the future of social selling. So I'm going to be taking you through a bit of a process and some theory behind that. And then I'm going to be giving you my 5-step sales strategy. So there are 5 different steps that you need to take to be able to have an online sales strategy to help you win more business. I'm going to be giving you one great top tip that will help you boost your awareness and potentially increase sales by up to 150%. One very simple action that you can take when being online. I'm actually going to show you how you can find a prospect in just 60 seconds. So I'm going to share with you a little tool that helps me get closer connected to my prospects. And then also we're going to be looking at why old school tactics don't work anymore. We are going through a digital transformation at the moment, and that transformation has evolved out of a digital revolution. So the way that we used to work in business no longer allows us to win more business in the future. So I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about that. But to get started, it's really important that not only are you incredible at what you do, but you are also visible at what you do. And let me share with you a bit of a process that one of your potential customers might go through to find out a little bit about you and how you can help them with their business. So imagine there's a visitor, and that visitor has gone over to Google and they've typed in a couple of specific keywords or a key phrase that resonates with what you do in your business. So let me ask you this question. Are you happy with the amount of traffic that you've got coming over to your website? That's your first question that I want you to be thinking about as we're going through this training today. The second question is, if I am getting traffic to my website, am I converting that traffic into being a potential customer of mine? So there's 2 very important questions that you need to ask yourself. So the first one is, that visitor goes over to Google, types in a couple of keywords about your business, and then they click search. They can't find your business. They think, hold on a minute here. If this person is a business owner, let me go over to the largest B2B social network and try and find this business owner. So then they go over to LinkedIn. They start typing in a couple of keywords, looking for that perfect CEO, salesperson, marketing manager, HR expert, whatever that might be. They type in those keywords, and maybe if you have done your social media optimization, in other words, you've got the right amount of words that talk about your business so that LinkedIn knows exactly who you are, then that person will be brought up to you and to your business. Maybe they'll jump over to Twitter. Maybe they'll go over to Google Plus or Pinterest. They'll go and find your business online and hopefully connect with you. Then they finally go over to social media and one of the biggest social networks out there that's got over 2 billion users on it, Facebook, and they type in specific keywords. Remember, your visitor at the moment doesn't know your name or know your company's name. So using specific keywords is very important, not only for your website, but also everything that you do inside of the online space of social networking and building communities, whatever that might be. So as you can see here, I've typed in a couple of keywords. So 3 keywords, social media speaker. And as you can see here, I appear, but I appear inside of a group because my personal profile is locked down. You're not going to find my personal profile inside of Facebook. I use that for my family. But what I do is I engage in groups. I have 3 groups of my own where I speak to various different customers or prospects of mine. But this is where somebody can find you. So it's really important that you, as a business owner, doing sales, doing marketing, that you are incredible at what you do and you are visible so that people can come and find you. So now I'm going to give you my 5-step sales strategy to help you get a better understanding of what you need to be doing in your business to find those visitors, engage with those prospects, and get that person to become a happy customer of yours. Step 1, we have to understand where we're at the moment. Not only do we understand where we are at the moment, but also what are our competitors doing. Step 2, set some goals. What do you want to achieve? Are you looking at generating 50 new leads by applying this social sales strategy? Is it that you want to generate 2 new customers? Maybe you're just looking for some brand awareness. Do you want to generate 10 new contacts inside of LinkedIn? You want to drive 1,000 more visitors to your website? Whatever those goals are, define what those goals are. Because unless we know what those goals are at the start of our strategy, then we're never going to know whether or not what we did was successful or failed. Step 3, creating content. And we're going to be looking at different ways of creating that content. Step 4, we have to publish that content. Where do we publish it? Based on who we are as a business and where our target audience hang out. We publish that content. And step number 5 is to monitor that. We have to monitor it and analyze it. So I've got some great tools that I'm going to share with you that allow you to do some listening online to find out whether or not your social sales strategy that you're putting into place has been a success for you or not. So step number 1, evaluate. We've got to find out and take a look at who we are as a business. Now, imagine that you're going to put together a 30-day sales strategy campaign. And the first thing that we need to do is evaluate who we are as a business. So to do that, I'm going to help you. When you communicate online, I want you to be looking at the screen right now, guys. So I can see exactly who's being attentive and who isn't being attentive at the moment. So please look at the screen. Very good. The attentiveness just gone up by 15%. Let's see. There we go. We're very close now to going up to 20%. Excellent. So I'm happy with that attentiveness that we've got going on. Please look at the screen right now and take a look at these words that you can see on the screen. So under character, what type of character do you want to have in your tone of voice online? What tone are you going to be? Are you going to be honest? Going to be clinical, scientific? What type of language are you going to use talking about your business? Is it going to be complex because you've got a complex business and you talk to complex people? Or is it going to be very simple because you do have a complex business, but you need to speak in simple words to help people understand so they can come and buy from you? And what is your purpose? Are you looking to entertain? Are you looking to educate, inform, sell? What is it you're looking to do? So what I want to do now, guys, is I'm going to run a little poll. And what I would like to do is get a little bit of a better understanding of who you are. So what is your brand tone of voice? So I'm going to run a little poll now. So I'm going to just set this up for you. We're going to launch the poll. And I've got 5 very simple words that I would like you to take a look at and answer for me, please. So you can select one or more of these. So do you feel like you've got to be very professional when you talk about yourself online? Do you want to inspire people to really get them to understand who you are, what it is that you do and how you can help them? Are you a little bit playful? So maybe you run an online toys business. So part of that will be a little bit playful. Or are you an authority in your industry? Are you a thought leader and you are the one that are looking at those changes that are going to happen in your industry and people need to listen to you? So we've got some great results coming through at the moment. We've got, 70–80% of you are looking to educate. We've got 60–70% of you need to be professional. We've got some people that really want to go out there and inspire. So we're looking at people that are going to be professional and inspiring people. Education seems to be a very powerful word that people want to use. So as I go through today's training, I want those of you that have now, we've got pretty much professional and educate are the 2 tone of voices that are important for you today. So as I take you through my presentation, please have these 2 keywords in mind, or whatever you chose, whether it's about authoritative, playful, inspiring, whatever it might be. Have those words in mind as I'm taking you through my step-by-step process for you to be able to design a sales strategy. So thank you all very much for filling out this information. We've got professional and education seem to be at the top there. We've got inspiring, then we have playful, and then we have authoritative. So thank you very much for that. Nearly 82% of you actually voted. So I really do appreciate you taking the time to do that. The next thing that we want to do when we're going through our evaluation phase is take a look at all of the online platforms that are out there where we need to take our tone of voice to be professional and educate. And we want to take that and put that into the right place that's going to connect with our target audience. So when you look at Facebook, for instance, they've got well over 2 billion users. You know, they have 8 billion video views every single day. Or is it more YouTube? If you want to educate people, are you going to do that through video inside of YouTube? And remember, YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world. Maybe you want to use Instagram. Instagram's a great place where you can be visual with images, you can be visual with video, you can be visual with live streaming. You can set up some great little stories all about your business, and so that they stay live for the next 24 hours. You know, so if you want to connect with the type of audience that are, I'd probably say in their mid-20s to around about their 40s inside of Instagram, and it's skewing a little bit more to the female than the male, then that would be a great place for you. I had a great meeting the other day with a company that specialized in gym wear. And the strategy that they're taking is not going to the social network where their customers buy from them, because they've already got a great successful business that is generating a lot of new customers. What they've decided to do is change tack slightly, and they're going to go to that social network that as those people grow up inside of that social network, they will then evolve over to a different social network, and they've already built great brand awareness in that social network so that people come and instantly buy directly from them. So what is your sales strategy when we're looking at using Twitter, for instance? You know, a little bit more male orientated, I would say slightly older demographic with that. Maybe you're looking at Pinterest. So if your audience are female and they are 30 and above, then that's where you should be hanging out. That's where you should be sharing your content. So once you've evaluated which one of these social networks are right for you, and it's obviously down to you to do that, my recommendation is to focus on one and then have 1 or 2 others as your secondary social networks. Once you've understood your tone of voice and who you are, now you know where your target audience hang out. What I want to do now is share with you a methodology that's taken me 3 years to analyze and to put down on paper. So what you're looking at on the screen at the moment is something that, as I said, I've taken me 3 years to put this together. I wrote a book called Think #Digital First back in 2013. I published it in 2014. And then in 2017, I rewrote the book again and built a 2nd edition of that, which was revised, edited, and updated. And I literally stripped out 30% of the content and added in an extra 50, nearly 60% worth of content inside of that. And by going through that process and looking at what's changed online and how we get sales online, I actually realized that there was a bit of a process around this. Step 1, we're looking at those visitors. So we must be relevant, sharing relevant content with the right tone of voice to those visitors. We must be engaging with those visitors and having conversations with those visitors. Because when we give a great brand experience and tell our story, what happens then is we generate a lead. We capture that person's contact details. And at that point then, they become a prospect of ours. Then we can use marketing automation to nurture that database. And at that point then, we can convert, delight them, we give them a beautiful customer promise, and then that customer turns into a massive brand advocate and a huge influencer for us as a business, whether that's word of mouth online or whether that's word of mouth offline. So as I go through my presentation today, I want you to be thinking about visitor to prospect, prospect to customer. Step 2, it's all about setting goals. You've got to put your stake in the ground to know this is where I'm at today. When I've finished my 5-step sales strategy campaign, I'm going to take a look back and look at what incremental growth my business has had. Now, this was quite amazing when I think about this. We're talking about statistics here. So 83% of people don't have goals. They just don't set goals within what they're doing. And yet 14% of us actually, do you know what? I keep my goals inside of my mind. I know what I want to do. Maybe I'm a little bit fearful of putting them down on paper. Who knows? Maybe you prefer keeping things inside your mind because it makes it easy for you to remember. But if you do that, you are actually going to be 10 times more successful than people that don't even think about having goals. But when you write your goals down, you can potentially be 30 times more successful than somebody that doesn't have any goals whatsoever. So to help you with this, and so that I can give this to you, to hopefully that you can be up to 30% more successful, I'm going to break this down into 2 ways for you based on my methodology. The first thing that we need to do when we're setting a goal is think visitor to prospect. Because the likelihoods of somebody, and I'm going to give you a statistic here, it's actually 98% of people that visit websites for the first time never buy from that website. 98% of people that visit on the first time do not buy from that website. So what we need to do, we need to have a bit of a mindset shift. We need to say, okay, so I'm not going to take that person from being a visitor to a customer. I'm going to take them from being a visitor to a prospect. So down here, if you take a look at the screen right now, you'll be able to see some KPIs, so some key performance indicators that I've given you for you to be able to set some goals, whether that's website traffic, whether that's building brand awareness, whether that's I want to generate 20 new leads during this 28-day campaign, wherever that might look like. I want to get some more click-throughs. So when I'm sending out content through my email marketing, through my paid marketing, through my social media organic reach, I want to see more people clicking on my content. So this is all about visitor to prospect. Now, right at the very beginning, I said I wanted to give you 5 things that I wanted you to take away from this. I'm already starting to take you through my 5-step sales strategy. The next thing that I want to share with you when it comes to visitor to prospect is how you can find somebody's contact details in 60 seconds. So if you are on, let me see if you guys are listening at the moment. So in the questions box, guys, just give me a yes or a no if you are on LinkedIn. Just type in yeah, yes, no, yay, nay, hey, give it to me in your language, whatever it might be. So we've got an overwhelming yes. So we've got Mike, Rob, Mary, Lola, Bud, hey Teresa, hey Caitlin, you got Jose, Richard, yes indeed, love that Richard. We've got Bob, Sally, Eds, yeah, hey from Canada, Amel, really nice to meet you guys. So fantastic, an overwhelming yes. So the email address that you have signed up to inside of LinkedIn and the email addresses that you put inside of LinkedIn that or you are also associated to, what I would like you to go and do after today is download, if you're using Gmail, because this works for Gmail, I want you to download this application for your Gmail account. Now, it's called the Sales Navigator for Gmail. Just go over to Google, type in Sales Navigator for Gmail, and this is completely free of charge. And what happens is, and it doesn't matter whether you're paying for LinkedIn or not paying for LinkedIn, I've never paid for LinkedIn, guys. I have over 22,000 connections inside of LinkedIn and 24,000 people that read my content inside of LinkedIn. So, and I've never paid for LinkedIn, and it generates prospects and revenue for me on a monthly basis. But this particular tool will help you find that person inside of LinkedIn in less than 60 seconds. So a couple of steps for you. Go to Google, type in Sales Navigator for Gmail. When the link comes up, it'll open up on a page like you're looking at the moment. Click the Add to Gmail button, and it will automatically add it to your Gmail account, so that when somebody sends you an email, whether you know them or don't know them, what happens is over on the right hand side, so I'll highlight this for you, over on the right hand side over here, that prospect's details pops up and saying to you, hey, this is the person, they're over on LinkedIn, these are all their different social media accounts, these are the people that you're connected to as well. Would you like to connect to this person inside of LinkedIn? LinkedIn is the largest business-to-business social network, and this tool has been amazing for me, so that when somebody sends me an email, whether it's a cold email, whether I've never met them before, whatever that might be, I can then go and find out a little bit more information about that person, and then decide whether or not I want to engage with that person either inside of email or inside of LinkedIn. All of these are tactics that you can use, allowing you to help you in your sales cycle. So that's visitor to prospect, guys. The final phase in this is about going from a prospect to a customer. So remember, we are in the setting goal phase at the moment. So if you take a look at the screen right now, I've got different key performance indicators for you to set goals. So we're talking about web conversion this time. We're talking about lead acquisition. We're talking about cost per lead, social media sales, acquisition rates. These are different goals that you need to measure based on the different actions that your visitor are taking to becoming a prospect, and then from that prospect to becoming a happy customer of yours. So now we're into step 3. We've got to create content. We've got to create some great content that connects with our target customer. But to do that, we've got to make a lot of decisions. So did you know that you actually make 30,000 decisions every single day? You might not realize it. The decision to be on this training, the decision to sign up to this training, the decision to the action that you're going to take at the end of this training. Whatever that might be, you might be multitasking right now. You might have this open on one screen, and you might be writing some emails right now, because guess what? I can see whether or not you're being very attentive and who you are. So what I would like you to do now, guys, I'm going to run another little poll for you. So I would like you to answer this question for me. What is your decision strategy when you're looking to take an action? So on the screen right now, you can either select one or more of these. You'll probably find that it's just one of them. So what is your decision strategy? Are you the type of person that's really impulsive? A friend of mine many years ago, not now, I've got a wife, I have a baby girl who's 17 months old. So my decision strategy used to be impulsive. You see, you buy. Now it's all about, a little bit of reflecting, but definitely prioritizing. What's important for me? Well, buying my little girl clothes is far more important to me than buying clothes for me. So I'm prioritizing with my decision strategy. So what's your decision strategy? So wow, we've got 80% of you at the moment are saying that you're all about prioritizing. Thank you very much for the people that are being honest. Avoidance. So you'll happily avoid trying to make that decision before it might be lastminute.com. Your friends might say that about you, who knows. Balancing, so making choices. Do I go with that? Do I go with this? Reflecting, I quite like the idea of actually being on that webinar, but shall I be on it? I don't know. So we've got nearly up to 80% of you again that are doing the votes. So hands down, guys, it's all about prioritizing. So in business, this is probably one of the best decisions that you can make. Prioritizing what's important to you in your business. And actually, one of those actions that you've taken to be with me today is about getting a better understanding of your how to define your sales strategy. So thanks a lot again, guys. 80% of you voted. I really do appreciate you engaging with the webinar today. Let's just close the poll. Okay, so I'm going to break this down for you in 3 very simple ways when we're looking to create content. The first thing that we're going to do is create content that we own. So this is our owned media. This is what sits on our website. These are the videos that we produce. These are the podcasts that we go on. These are the images that we produce that talk about having a happy customer. Whatever that might be, they're our owned media. And so nobody can take that away from us. You know, I don't know whether or not you know this, but all of your content inside of Facebook that you've published so far, you can actually go and download that. Your contacts that you follow inside of LinkedIn, you can go and download those contacts. Now, whilst you can go and do that, there is one big problem with this. And I've had this happen to quite a few of my clients where LinkedIn or Facebook, but especially Facebook, they're more renowned for doing this. They will happily close a page down without giving you any warning that they're going to be doing that. Now, one of my clients has got 1.5 million people on their Facebook page. Can you imagine if they broke a Facebook rule and they lost every single person inside of that page? So the goal is to create your own earned media, connect with those visitors inside of that social network, and then bring them out of that social network and turn them into a prospect. So owned media is really important. Your website, your catalog, your blog, the content that you send out via email is all yours. The next phase that we need to think about when creating a content is the paid media. So this is where we can go to Google and pay Google to promote our business. You can also do this in all of the different social networks: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest. They all allow you to take your owned media, so your images and the content about your business, and then pay to promote that inside of each of the different social networks. And the third phase, which is what I absolutely love, is the earned media. So right at the very beginning here, Keetri said to you guys, we're going to give you a surprise. Please come and tweet us. Use my Twitter handle @WarrenKnight. Use the Twitter handle @Zoho CRM, and then make sure that you include the hashtag what is it? I've got to remember that. So hashtag Smarter Sales Leader. Because if you do all 3 of those things, then guess what? We're going to pick you and potentially you're going to win a prize. But when you're doing all of that work, what's happening is we as in business, so me, Warren Knight, and Zoho are getting earned media. You guys are talking about being on this presentation. If you want to take a picture of the screen right now and then tweet it and say, hey, I'm on a webinar of Warren Knight and the guys at Zoho, you know, hashtag Smarter Sales Leaders, guess what? That could win you a prize. But by doing that, you're getting us earned media. So the reason why I want you to be doing that is I want you to start building a habit in doing that, so that then you can talk to your audience and ask them to do that for you. Because then when you've got owned media, you've got paid media, and you've got earned media, you can then apply that to all of the different social networks, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever that might be. Because right at the core of that is all about content, creating great content that helps build trust. You get reviews, helps curate new potential clients. It's brilliant for generating leads and fantastic for search engine optimization and social media optimization. Now, when you're creating your content, there is a fantastic tool that I use. So a lot of the visuals that I'm sharing with you today inside of this webinar have all been built inside of one particular online tool. And this particular tool allows me to do everything to keep your brand consistent around what's going on. So if any of you have had a chance to jump over to my Warren Knight website, thanks a lot, Mike, for doing that tweet. This is a nice vote. Thank you very much. What I would like you to do here is really think about how can I get brand consistent online through images, through GIFs, through content writing? And I would like you to put into the chat box now, would you like me to give you the one tool that I use that is completely free of charge so that you can go away and be brand consistent online? Give me a yes or a no inside of the chat box now, guys. If I get a nice bit of overwhelming, hey, David, thanks so much. Of course. Revenath, excellent. So we've got Ed, Richard, Ed, Alexander, good to see you there. Mike, Rebecca, good. So the tool is called Canva, CANVA.com. That for me has revolutionized the way that I'm able to talk about my brand, both online and offline. Is anybody here yet? So we've got Jervis, Canva rocks. Anybody here using Canva at the moment? Because I promise you, once you start using Canva, you'll never stop using it. It saved me no problem at all. So Michael, the spelling is CANVA.com, and I'll share that with everybody here. So it's Canva, CANVA.com. It really will revolutionize the way that you communicate about your brand online. So now you know that we're gonna, excuse me, we're gonna create some owned media. We're gonna be able to put some paid media. So Google, for instance, if you're gonna do a remarketing campaign inside of Google, it gives you 9 different types of designs that you need to give Google to do your remarketing successfully. Canva allows you to design those 9 different images all in one place, completely free of charge. So let's talk about when you're communicating to your online audience, when should you be doing this? And how often should you be doing this? So creating that content is all about, now I know I've got all of these digital assets, when's the best time and how often should I publish this content? So this is a statistic from another company. These aren't my statistics, by the way, but I'm going to give you my statistics on the reason why I'm going to challenge these. So inside of Facebook, I recommend at least once a day. Now that could be a post, that could be an image, that could be a video, that could be an infographic, that could be a live stream. You can really mix it up in regards to the way you're going to create your content. So I would say at least once a day inside of Facebook. And from a best practice perspective, I recommend between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. That gets the best results for the rest of the day and then picks up some people in the morning. Instagram, a minimum of once a day. So depending on, if Instagram is your platform, I would actually go up to maybe 2 or 3 times a day. And again, that could be images, you could do a carousel, you could do a video, and also a couple of stories. So mixing it up quite nicely. Instagram, I'd probably recommend, and you'll have to analyze this a little bit with your audience, but I would recommend between 5 and 6, maybe between 6 and 7 even with that. Twitter, I do a minimum of 5 tweets a day as a small business. So as a starting point for you as a business, if Twitter's going to be your go-to tool, I recommend 3 tweets a day. And if you go and follow me in my Twitter account, you'll actually see that I did a poll trying to find out the exact answer to this question. And based on data, 70% of my followers, and I've got 35,000 people that follow me inside of Twitter. So nearly 60–70% of those people are actually on Twitter in the evening after 6 o'clock. The other about 20% are before 9 o'clock, and then there's everybody else that hangs out in the middle round about lunchtime. So for me, after 6 o'clock is the best time of day inside of Twitter. LinkedIn, again, I recommend a minimum of 1 post a day, so around about 7 a week. And I'm going to disagree with these stats here because I've tested this. I get the best engagement between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. Because if you think about this, you're traveling to work, you've played around inside of Facebook, you've looked at your Instagram account, you've played around with Twitter, you get to your desk. Where is your head at? What habit have you just come from doing? So you get to your desk, you open up your computer, and the first thing that you do is jump into a social network, and that is LinkedIn. So for me, between 9 and 10 in the morning for LinkedIn. And then you've got Pinterest. So, a couple of times a day with Pinterest. So looking at 1 fresh pin and at least 2 or 3 repins. And I'm going to agree with the evening here. So after 7 o'clock in the evening is great for Pinterest. I don't do anything on Snapchat, so I've got no reference point for that. So you can make a decision in regards to what you want to do. So this is when you're looking at creating your content, thinking about it as owned, paid, and earned media, and where you're going to send it, how often you're going to send it, and what time of day you're going to send it. So now what we want to do is publish that content. We want to take that great content that we've produced, potentially using that great tool called Canva, and want to publish that content. Now, I've got a question for you guys. In the questions box here, I've actually mentioned this already. So this is a marketing tactic that you would use to talk about your brand. So I'm going to give you a bit of heads up here. The answer to this question is either going to be video, images, infographics, live streams, content. So what one thing can you do right now, or at the end of this webinar? What one thing can you do that could potentially get you 150% more engagement? So what have we got going on here? So how many people think it could be? So we've got video, we've got images. So Mark, you are 100% right. Is all about images. So when you are talking about your brand, please think about how you can share a visual that talks to those online visitors all about your brand. So this is the wonderful Jane Means. She specializes in wrapping presents. Who'd ever thought that there'd be a specialist in doing that? But she does it for some famous brands like Harrods. She does it for some famous celebrities like the Beckhams at Christmas time. But you can see here, she's using images to talk about her brand. She's talking about where she's at right now, and then she's using some fantastic hashtags to engage with her target audience. So as you can see here, this one post, by using an image, a bit of content, nice little call to action, and some hashtags, has got her 37 comments and 269 likes. So really think about visuals for you to be able to, once you've got that brand asset, so your owned media, go and take that and publish it online. Now, what's also great about enabling you to do some social sales through this strategy, it's not so much about necessarily what you publish, but it's what other people repin, repost, retweet, whichever word you want to use for the different social networks. They place what you do inside of different social networks. So I've got two great examples here for you around Megan, who very kindly shared my article about how marketing has changed over the last 10 years, and talking about my 5-step process that I shared with you today, my online transformation process. And this particular post that she made, it had 6 retweets and 9 likes, which is great. So that had an amplification reach of tens of thousands of people. Then you've got Christopher, who's talking about my Why CEOs Must Embrace Social Media in 2018 article. He managed to get 24 retweets and 136 likes. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people seeing this because of one person used the concept of earned media, because I gave them the medium to be able to do this. I write my content on my website, but I also write content on other websites. So I publish my content in lots of different places. So to help you do this, what I'm going to do for you now is give you day 1 of my 7-day social media strategy process. So this is going to help you write the right content and make sure that you're publishing the right content. So this is day 1 of my social media strategy. As you can see here, I've got specific times of day that I send out content, and that content must sit under a certain banner. So for Twitter, hour 1, 6 o'clock, is a tweet. I tweet about a product or a service I've got. Hour 2, 10 o'clock, is about a blog that I've written. Tweet 3 is some industry news about the business. Tweet 4 will be another product or service. And then tweet 5 will be some industry news around what's going on at the moment. So what you're looking at here is a strategy to help me publish the right content. Now, when you prepare 7 days worth of content, it literally takes you 60 minutes to do this. The preparation of this content is 60 minutes, and then you can then automate that content to go out across multiple different social networks. And to do that, I've got a fantastic tool that I'm going to share with you right now. Imagine if you wanted to share a piece of content across all of your different social networks using one dashboard and one click of a button that allowed you to schedule your content to go out at a specific time of day. This particular piece of software is called Hootsuite. That's Hootsuite. I've been a huge advocate of Hootsuite. I'm not an ambassador. I'm not an affiliate of this tool or anything like that. I'm a huge advocate of this particular tool because it's easy to use. It has a clean dashboard and it allows me to schedule content to go out at a specific time of day, as well as listening in to conversations that are happening in real time. So you can send content out to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest. The great thing about this tool is it's completely free of charge if you've only got 3 social networks. If you use more than 3 social networks, then it's going to cost you about $10 a month. But I promise you, the amount of time that it saves you, if you apply my 7-day strategy and write 7 days of content in 60 minutes, and then you schedule it to go out for the whole week, guess what? You never have to actually schedule any more content to go out for the next 7 days. All you need to do is download the Hootsuite app on your smartphone and start having conversations with people when they reply to your content. So this particular tool is called Hootsuite, and it's all about saving you time and listening in to any conversations around your brand. Now, once you've pushed out content into your different social networks, the ultimate goal is to take those people, as I mentioned before, who are visitors and drive them back to your website. So you put a nice little link in telling people to go over to your website and take a look at what you do. How many of you here have heard about the concept of remarketing or retargeting? So it's used in different ways, remarketing, retargeting. So how many people here have heard about remarketing or retargeting? Just give me a yes or a no inside the chat box. So we've got some yeses, great, Lola, good, no. We've got some no's, yes, use it. So Richard, are you using it successfully? Is it working really well for you at the moment? So we've got some no's, got C, nice, Juan, Michael, okay, great. So yes, Demetrius, brilliant. So I'm going to share with you very quickly the reasons why I love remarketing, and I'm going to put it very simply for you. It's champagne marketing on beer money. So imagine this, champagne marketing on beer money. And what I mean by that is, and I'm going to give you an exact example. I've got an online training academy. If I was to use Google to send out a paid advert to my target audience, my cost per click is $7 per click. That doesn't mean that converts. Now, on average, 3% of people actually convert into being customers when they click from a paid advert. But with remarketing, what happens is that person from social media clicks on the link, comes over to your website. Then a little cookie gets dropped on their computer. And then what happens is the next time that they log into Facebook, a little advert appears and goes, hey, Juan, I see that you're on this website, on this particular page, looking at this particular product. I know you didn't buy just yet. Why don't you click here and come back over to my website? And the reason why I talk about remarketing being champagne marketing on beer money is, remember I told you my cost per click in Google is $7. My cost per click in remarketing inside of social networks, specifically Facebook and Instagram, is 35 cents. Imagine if you had just $100 budget to do remarketing. How many 35 cents would then take you to actually spending that $100 in comparison to $7 if I'm just going to run an advert inside of Google? And the reason why I love remarketing so much is A, it saves me loads of cash, but B, it brings somebody back to your website who already has got to know, like, and trust you. And that's why remarketing is so powerful. The final phase that we go through, so step number 5, is all about monitoring. We have to listen in to what's happening. Why do we have to listen in? Because it takes up to 9.2 times before somebody becomes a customer of ours. So imagine this user journey. Somebody comes and meets you at a trade show and they shake your hands, they take your business cards, maybe they take a little picture of you and they go and share it out online. So touch point number 1 is meeting you at a trade show. Touch point number 2 is then you go and thank them for sending that message out onto Twitter, and then you connect with them inside of Twitter. Okay, great. Then you have a little direct message chat with them, step number 3. You give them the link to your website, step number 4. They go to your website and sign up for your newsletter. So you send them a newsletter email thanking them for signing up, step number 5. You then, in your email marketing strategy, you then send them an email, which is a sales email asking them to buy a product, step number 6 or 7 or whatever that was. They then come back over to your website, step number 8. There's a live chat on your website that has a conversation with them. Go, hey, it was great to see you at the trade show. Interested in this product? Yeah, sure, why not? Well, here's a special link I'm going to give you to get 10% off. Click on that link, come over and buy from me. Step number 9. These are all different touch points for our customers. So we have to monitor what's going on with that. Now, what helps us sometimes monitor that is actually, let's define this process by using a hashtag. So this was a client that I worked with, and what they wanted to do is they just wanted to thank their community. This was a 5-step social sales strategy applying, a 5-day applying my 5-step social sales strategy. Look at the KPIs that were important to them. A 3,000 increase in impressions, nearly 4,000 increase in profile visits. They got 113 impressions over those 5 days. They got 1,600 mentions, and what was really important to them was about driving traffic over to that website. So that's where they had 984 clicks running through to their website. So to help you do this, I've got a little cheat sheet for you. So take a look at the screen right now. This is my Excel spreadsheet that's going to help you understand the growth of your business. And inside each of the different social networks, there are different metrics that would be important to you: total reach, total clicks, or whatever it might be. Now, one of those might well be lead generation. So one of the tools that I use that help me do a lead generation is a great little tool called OptinMonster. It allows me to set up pop-ups on my website as part of my sales strategy and tells me how many people I converted. So in 1 week, with a single focus, I generated 102 conversions on my website. And then a week earlier, I created 88 conversions on my website. So over 2 weeks, I generated 200 new leads because I gave something away of value, but I monitored what my conversions rate were to work out which of those weeks were most successful for me and the reasons why. So what I'm going to give you today before we finish up and jump into the thank yous and the live Q&A session are 5 top tips. Number 1, make sure you guys have a plan. I've already shared some stats with you to the reasons why that's so important. Prepare, prepare, prepare. There's no point having a plan and implementing that plan if you haven't got those digital assets ready. Make sure that you have native engagement. And what I mean by that is when somebody talks to you inside of LinkedIn, make sure you spend the time to talk to them inside LinkedIn in that professional way. Do not talk to somebody using hashtags inside LinkedIn because they won't be happy with you. In Instagram, knock yourself out. Put your sales on automation. Use tools like ManyChat that allows you to do machine learning from your website. Tools like Infusionsoft that allow you to set up marketing automation. Use tools like Hootsuite, which allow you to automate your content to go out. So think about how you can automate your content to help you save time in your business. And then make sure you track and measure everything that you do so you know what worked and what didn't work. So just to sum up for you, step 1, evaluate. Step 2, set goals. Step 3, create great content. 4, make sure you publish it, but schedule that content to go out so it helps you save time. And step 5, analyze what worked and what didn't work. And so in the middle of all of that is creating great content that shares a message and a story about your business that gets you engagement and builds loyalty. So questions. I'm here as we've already explained. So I did not get a recording of the last webinar. Can I get one, please? Of course you can, Lola. How can they get the recording, Kitri?
We'll just send them out once this webinar is over, maybe in a day's time. So they'll get 2 recordings for it. So
good.
Don't worry, Ola, you'll get it, sir.
Very good. So you should receive a piece of marketing automation sent out to you that gives you the option to go and watch these webinars again. So thank you very much, Lola, for that. We've got Mike. I had a small question. Hope to grab sales being a beginner in the market. Yeah, sure, Mike. Just hit me with it. What's your question? So anybody else got any questions? We've still got quite a lot of you that are online at the moment. We've got some good attentive rate here happening. Good. We've got, so let me scroll up here. Hootsuite, graphics, best of all, video, company logos, the questions, good. People tweeting. Let me see what, yeah, so Richard Goods, Canva's great for the blogging. Really good for that. Okay, so what's the tool? It's called Opt-in Monster. So I'll put it in here for you in caps. Opt-in Monster. So that is the tool that I use that allows me to generate leads online. It gives me lots of different pop-ups. If you have been to my website before you came to the webinar, you know that the Opt-in Monster pop-up that was on my website was telling everybody about this webinar that was going to be going live today. If you go to my website tomorrow, you'll probably see a different pop-up because I'm shifting my marketing. Okay, so Mary, how to interview an outsourced digital marketing vendor. Well, the best way to do that is do that on Facebook. So completely free of charge, do a great live stream. You can have 2 people, 1 person here, 1 person here, 2 people talking, and allows you to do completely free of charge, Mary. Outside of that, a great tool that I use to help me do this is called Zoom. So the platform that we're using here is called GoToWebinar. It's a great tool. It's one that I use within my business. It's not the cheapest tool out there, but it definitely is one of the best in my opinion. I'm really pleased Zoho are using it. But to help you get started, Zoom is a really good one to help you with that. So Zoom, I'll put that in here. So Zoom's a great tool for this. Okay, so what are your thoughts on using webinars as a sales tool? So Mark, I'm not sure of how to answer that question. I've done over 400 webinars in the last 10 years of me being online. I have generated thousands and thousands of leads. I'm not going to talk about my sales figures, but all I'm safe to say is I do webinars every single month because it is one of my best conversions for sales. Lola, thank you very much for a great presentation. No problem at all. Would love to work with you. Do you take new clients? Of course I take new clients, Lola. So please do feel free to tweet me at Warren Knight. What we can do is we can set up what I like to call a discovery call. So I get to find out about you and your business and find out whether or not I'm the right person to help you. If I'm not the right person, then I definitely know a lot of great people that might be able to help you. So please feel free, Lola, to tweet me. So Ulf, it's not like Add This. I presume you're talking about Opt-in Monster, Ulf. Is much better than Add This. What's the name of my book? The name of my book is, I will type it into here, it's Think #Digital First. And I wrote that book encompassing my 25 years of being in business. So I used to work with Disney for many years. I did $1 million of sales a month with Disney. I built a couple of technology companies. And so the whole book is based around a 7-step process. I'm helping you understand who you are, building your team, getting your business model right, then using the right technology in the place that you're in right now, giving you a strategy, and then a brand advocate process built into that whole book. It's called Think #Digital First. What is there an email address? Stan, what do you need the email address for? More than happy to help you with that. I love Zoom, use it all the time. Great, Lola. Mark, no, thank you for being on here. So Stan, what would you like to know an email address for? Happily, you can follow me on Twitter, you can get hold of me, go to my Warren Knight website, my LinkedIn profile. I'm very transparent of ways of being able to connect with me. So I think we're coming to the end now. The questions seem to have slowed up a little bit. Okay, good.
Any
So Richard,
more questions?
so do you do live in person? So we've got, do you do live in person seminars? If so, are there any in Orlando? Unfortunately not, Richard. I'm based in the UK. So yes, I do live seminars. I actually did one on Friday, but I'm not based in Orlando. But if you'd like to bring me out, I would love to do that. So love both sessions. Thank you for my quick question. From digitally low consumption businesses, heavy industry, what digital strategy would you recommend? So if you are in a business to business strategy, Jervis, I would recommend LinkedIn. Write engaging content inside of LinkedIn. Position yourself as a thought leader in your industry by doing little live streams and videos, but make sure you do it in a native way. Don't link out to any of your pages on your website until you write comments in the box below. LinkedIn want you to stay inside of that social network. So position yourself as a thought leader inside of LinkedIn. No problem, Mary. Thanks a lot, David. Nice to. Thanks, Warren. It's a real pleasure. Connect and follow up. Great, Mark. Thanks. Maybe one day. Great. I'd love to do that. Teresa, is LinkedIn worthwhile for B2C businesses? Well, it's very important for you to have a profile on LinkedIn, because whilst your business model might be business to consumer, you would have to engage with businesses to be able to help you facilitate that outcome. So if you're buying products and producing products and you're working with suppliers for websites, for email marketing, you're looking for partners to promote your business for you, whatever that might be. So I would highly recommend you having a presence on LinkedIn and make sure that it's optimized, but maybe don't use it as your marketing tool. Maybe look at Instagram and Facebook as your two tools. I don't, it depends on your market. Okay, so I think we've come to the end now. I think we're going to finish up. Cheers, goodbye, thanks. See you online so very soon. Come and tweet me. Catch you later, guys. Bye.